Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Several Palestinians are killed and others are wounded in Israel's bombing of Rafah as the UN Secretary General calls for ceasefire in Gaza. The Sultanate of Oman hosts Middle Eastern Alliance of Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition Congress. And the effects of weather condition are weakened over the Sultanate of Oman as the operations for the National Center for Emergency Management, the sectors and subcommittees have concluded. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. 9 Palestinians, most of them are children and women, were murdered and others were injured in Israeli occupation's bombing of Rafah, south of the Gaza Strip. Palestinian sources reported that the occupation aircraft bombed a house in Az-Zuhur neighborhood in the city of Rafah, and a number of Palestinians were injured in an Israeli bombing that targeted a house near the tents of the displaced in Tel As-Sultan neighborhood west of the city of Rafah, while 9 were injured in a bombing that targeted Al-Buresh camp in the central Gaza Strip. The Israeli occupation forces have continued their aggression against the Gaza Strip on land, sea and air since the 7th of October last year, which led to the death of more than 34,600 people. The United Nations Humanitarian Aid Agency says hundreds of thousands of people would be at imminent risk of death if Israel carries out a military assault in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Jen Slarke, spokesperson for the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, said Rafah has become a crucial humanitarian hub for distribution of aid into Gaza since Israel launched its military campaign after October 7th. Rafah is pivotal for food, water, health, sanitation, hygiene, and other critical support to the people there, including hundreds of thousands of the Gazans who fled the fighting elsewhere, Larke told reporters at a regular UN briefing in Geneva. UN Chief Antonio Guterres called on the warring parties to reach an agreement as the two sides negotiate an end to war and the release of hostages being held in Gaza. He also called for a ceasefire, the protection of civilians, and the entry of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. Israeli leaders are weighing whether to accept the deal that would delay or prevent their planned ground invasion of the southern Gaza city of Rafah. British Foreign Minister David Cameron met with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during a visit to Kyiv. The pair held talks in the Ukrainian capital where Cameron spoke about the $3.7 billion UK annual aid package to Ukraine. Meanwhile, Zelensky once again stressed the importance of speedy delivery of the defense aid package from the US. Zelensky also announced the next peace summit to be held in Switzerland on the 15th and 16th of June.
Just as friends, we come as partners.
The death toll from heavy rains in Brazil's southernmost state of Rio de Sol has risen to 29 as the state government declared a state of public calamity to deal with the dramatic situation. The storms, which have caused the greatest devastation in the state in recent years, also left 60 people missing and 10,242 displaced in 154 cities, according to Rio Grande do Sul's civil defense. Today marks the beginning of the Middle Eastern Alliance of Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition Congress in its first edition in the Sultanate of Oman and the third in the Middle East. The event was under the patronage of Her Excellency Sayyida Hujayja bin Jafar Al Said. Is the first international event focusing on parenteral and enteral nutrition involving doctors, clinical nutrition specialists, nursing staff, and nutrition experts. Over 1,000 healthcare professionals and more than 120 speakers, including experts and specialists from 26 different countries around the world, are participating in the two-day conference. The conference discussed topics such as parenteral nutrition in the treatment of cancer patients, nutritional therapy for sick children, malnutrition explanations and risk factors for kidney patients undergoing dialysis, as well as the impact of nutrition on cognitive impairment and early Alzheimer. Additionally, the conference agenda will address the social determinants for diabetic patients in the Arab world. The National Emergency Management Committee announced the end of the operations for the National Center for Emergency Management. The sectors and subcommittees in the governorates provided that the concerned authorities continue to restore the affected services. The latest forecast and analysis of the National Multi-Hazards Early Warning Center at the Civil Aviation Authority show that the effects of the weather condition on the Sultanate of Oman is weakening starting from today. There are chances of rain of varying intensity over the Far Governorate and parts of Al-Wusta and South Al-Sharqiyya governorates, with rain quantities ranging from 3 to 10 millimeters, while the weather will be stable in the rest of the governorates of the Sultanate of Oman. There's a possibility of clouds accumulation over the Hajar Mountains, accompanied by scattered rain with occasional thunder showers during the afternoon and the evening periods. Forecasts indicate chances of rain of varying intensity in parts of Dhofar, Al-Wusta, South Al-Sharqiyya governorates during the next 2 days. Still to come on News Bulletin. The third Camel Beautification Festival in the Wilaya of Yanqul attracts wide turnout from camel breeders. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The volume of wheat production in Al Buraimi Governorate increased this season to 250 tons, and the cultivated area exceeded 1,000 acres. These efforts contributed in improved self-sufficiency in this crop and encouraging other entrepreneurs to invest in the agricultural sector. The volume of wheat production and the land plots dedicated to agricultural use in the governorate of Buraimi have increased exponentially as more and more farmers and investors are attracted to invest their times to produce wheat. The latest statistics revealed by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources show overall wheat production in the Sultanate of Oman in 2022 and 2023 has doubled to 229%. The figures also show increase by 24% in the number of farmers this year. The Sultanate of Oman, represented by the Ministry of Labor, celebrated World Day for Safety and Health at Work. Many public and private institutions joined in the celebration of this occasion, including the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance, the Civil Aviation Authority, and Ministry of Energy and Minerals and Asyad Group. On this occasion, the Ministry of Labor celebrated in North Sharqiya Governorate by highlighting the most important issues in the occupational safety and health sector and promoting good practices in the public and private sectors. With wide participations from the various wilayas of the Dhahra Governorate, the third Camel Beautification Festival was held in the wilaya of Yanqul. The four-day festival included an exhibition in which productive families participated to show and promote for their products, which include traditional handicrafts and other homemade products. The organizing committee also held a number of artistic events and poetry evenings in which traditional arts relating to camel and horse riding were performed. The Nizwa Dates Industrial Complex represents a significant enhancement to the Omani dates industry and its associated sectors. Since the beginning of its trial operation, the complex has been receiving over 30 tons of Omani dates annually. We have more details in the following report.
Nizwa Dates Industrial Complex is a state-of-the-art facility and a testament to innovation, highlighting the Sultanate of Oman's dedication to promoting its agricultural heritage. With a total area of 35,000 square meters, the complex receives massive quantities of different types and varieties of dates produced across various governorates. At present, the facility generates around 30,000 tons of premium Omani dates annually.
Nizwa Dates Industrial Complex, one of the largest dates factory in the area. The build-up area of the complex is about 35,000 square meter with the current capacity of 30,000 ton a year. We process the dates in different stages over here, including transportation, fumigation, sorting, washing, as well as the final packaging.
The facility is equipped with the latest in food technology while adhering to the highest global standards in food production, to yield an array of date-based products such as date paste, date honey, and liquid sugar.
We also have a downstream industries that where we convert the dates into added value product. Nizwa Dates Industrial Complex successfully obtained food safety certificate like ISO 22000 as well as FSSC 22000, as well as HSC certificate and HACCP certificate in different fields.
The Nizwa Dates Industrial Complex offers a range of products, three of which bear the brand names Tamra, Nizwa, and Zad al-Dahr, along with the byproducts of date processing and feed products to maximize production benefits and create added value through date-based industries. صالح بن خلفان الرحبي, ولاية of Nizwa, الداخلية, Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. Several Palestinians are killed and others are wounded in Israel's bombing of Rafah as the UN Secretary General calls for ceasefire in Gaza. The Sultanate of Oman hosts Middle Eastern Alliance of Parental and Enteral Nutrition Congress. And the effects of weather condition are weakened over the Sultanate of Oman as the operations for the National Center for Emergency Management, the sectors and the subcommittees have concluded. With that, we have come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here at the newsroom and the studios. Thank you for watching and have a good night.